Hey guys, it's Kyla at the MJC, and today I am here to talk to you guys about the debts and liabilities section of the proposed marital settlement agreement, which is one of those Part 2 documents. Before I get into that though, as always, I just want to remind you that nothing in this video is intended to be legal advice. It's a video, so I'm not able to analyze your specific situation and determine whether this is the right forum for you, whether a judge is likely to grant the proposal, the order that you're asking for, or whether what you're asking for is in your best interest. So, if you do have any of those types of questions, you should definitely get some legal advice. You can get brief legal advice for free here in Milwaukee County. If you are not located in Milwaukee County, you can contact your clerk of court to find out what resources are available in your area. All right, so this is the debts and liabilities section, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to line up with the debts and liabilities you listed on your financial disclosure document. So I usually count up. You'll make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 11 here. I know I need to have 11 on my marital settlement agreement as well. And make sure you'll notice this is Jane's financial disclosure, but she has listed John's debts that she knows of. So she knows he has some mortgages and has listed that information. You'll want to do that as well. So here we're going to go ahead and list those. You'll see it lists rent here. At the MJC and here in Milwaukee County, we typically do not list rent unless unless you are behind on it or unless there is some dispute about who is going to pay it going forward. But some counties do require rent, so if you are in one of those counties, you can include that information. But here in our situation, we know John has got a couple of mortgages, so we're going to go ahead and list those. On this first line, you will list the creditor name. A lot of people see this payment to, and they think it wants to know the amount. It doesn't want to know how much you pay per month. It wants to know what is the name of the creditor, what is the name of the person you send that to. Here, similarly, it wants to know the total balance owed. So you can see we're not putting John's monthly payment, we're putting the total amount he owes Chase for his mortgage. And then over here, you're going to indicate who is going to pay the debt going forward. So you can say it is going to be paid by the petitioner or joint petitioner A. In our situation, that would be Jane. You can say that it's going to be paid by the respondent or joint petitioner B. In our situation, that is John. Or you can say that they're going to share that equally. So here, Jane could propose that John's going to pay it. She could propose that she's going to pay it. All that sort of stuff. And there's the second mortgage through U.S. Bank, so we'll list that here. Oh, and it's $10,000. And again, who she thinks is going to pay that. I don't know why that is bolded. For some reason, it is bold. It does not have to be. It doesn't seem to want to unbold, so if it is bolded for you, that's okay too. So you're just going to go through and you're going to list all of these. I'm not going to list them all on this because it's just a lot of you watching me type, but obviously here you would put in the cars, and the cars are going to go on the car line. You're going to put the balance due, and you're going to put in who is going to pay them going forward. You'll do the same thing for student loans. One thing I should note, so you'll see here John and Jane both have student loans. So there are 2 student loans that need to be listed. But there's only one line for student loans. So what you'll do is you'll put 1 here. So Department of Education, we'll put Jane's student loan there. And we'll indicate who's going to pay that. So maybe it's going to be Jane that's going to keep paying that. And then for the other one, we can put it under loans other. And we can put that here. The other place you could put it, so if you have some other loan that's already taking that line up, you could also put it under other down here. Now, I know some folks will say, what do I do if I run out of other spaces? So what if you have 4 credit cards and 3 student loans, and you have a bunch of tax debt and medical debts and more than these spaces? You have a couple of options for what to do. Option 1 is if you have some leftover spaces up here. So let's say John and Jane don't have a third car and you just need 1 line. you could, when you print it out, you can't make this edit on the Word doc, but when you print it out, you could white out the word, the words car 3, excuse me there, white out car 3 and write in other, or line out car 3 and write in other, and write the type there. The other thing you can do, if you either have so many debts that that's not practical, or if the idea of lining it out and writing it in just makes your skin crawl because it's not going to look all neat and organized, then you can click See Attached. And what you can do is you can pull up a Word document, just a new Word doc, like the one I've got pulled up here. And what you'll be able to do is you can go to Insert. I'll just scoot it down so you can see what I'm doing. You can insert a table. And you can see here, it's what's it got? It's got payment 4, payment 2, balance due. So I would usually do just a table with four lines. Anyway, I guess. I'm gonna undo here. You guys are gonna see how the sausage is made. You'll do just a little makeshift caption, so your name versus the other person's name, or if your name went second, other person's name versus your name. So, John Samuel Smith. You'll tab all the way over to the other side here. You'll put your case number. And you'll just delete that up. And then you can actually, in Word, you can do a little underscore line. And if you do that far enough over, it'll create a bold line kind of through the middle. Like that. And then now you're ready to insert your table. So as I said, I tend to just do 4. So you can do that there. And then you just want it to line up. So we can say payment 4, creditor. Here on this line, you can just put balance or balance due. And then on this last one, you can see I combined these 3 instead of saying paid by respondent or paid by the petitioner shared equally. I'm just going to say who will pay going forward. And then here, so if we had this, we could say it's payment for medical or other or whatever. Creditor is Columbia St. Mary's, which I think is now Ascension, but you guys have seen my spelling. You know I can't spell Ascension, so we'll call it Columbia St. Mary's. Balance due, whatever that amount is, and then who's going to pay? The petitioner. So that's just kind of a makeshift little attachment that you could do if you run out of space here. All right. Well, as I said, I'm not going to torture you guys by making you all watch me fill in all of the lines, but do make sure for you that it does match up with your financial disclosure statement. So Jane should list all 11 debts that are listed on her financial. All right. Well, that is all for the debts and liabilities section. We'll be back in the next one to talk about equalization of marital property. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope that it was helpful. If you do have additional questions, as always, during any non-pandemic times, you can come into the Milwaukee County Courthouse, room G9, where we can help you with forms and refer you to legal resources if necessary. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I do hope that it was helpful. And now, just go out and represent yourselves well.